Good morning. Welcome to the Odisha State Open University. I am Dr. Sarvani Shankar Panigrahi, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Odisha State Open University. Welcome to all of you to this class. Today our topic is Introduction to the Canterbury Tales. It is in your PEG 101, Unit 3. The general prologue to the Canterbury Tales opens with a vivid and a memorable description of spring, setting the stage for the Chaucer's tale of pilgrimage. This seasonal imagery is both conventional and evocative, serving as an effective introduction to the spiritual and physical journeys of the pilgrims. In Chaucer's time, spring's arrival was deeply significant, marking the end of a long, harsh winter and bringing with it a sense of rejuvenation and renewal. Now let us discuss the context of spring in the medieval world. During the medieval world, people were taking winter as isolation and hardship because they were living in dark houses and they were taking the food items which is not suitable for their health. That is why they were waiting for the spring. And when spring comes, it brings sweet showers. Everyone is joy and everyone is getting pleasure out of getting the spring season. Then the next point is pilgrimage as a spiritual and social phenomenon. The pilgrimage to the shrine of St. Thomas a Becket in Canterbury brings eternal peace and spiritual solace, and this is a journey which connects people to God, and this is a particular belief which is in the mind of the people of the 14th century England society. Then symbolism and astrology. In symbolism and astrology, Chaucer explains the blending of earthly events with celestial moments. Blending of earthly events means Chaucer tries to connect human life with nature. For example, if the sun is in the Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, it symbolizes beginning and energy. So that is why Chaucer tries to connect human life with the nature. Then there are certain portraits which tells us about the diverse groups of people who made a journey towards Canterbury, and these groups of people are symbolizing different aspects of life in the human society. Number one is the knight. The knight is a person who is a paragon of virtue, honor, and military prowess, and he is the ideal of chivalry, and he fought a number of crusades across Europe. That is why knight is called as the bravest person in that society. Then the knight's son, the squire. The squire is an honorable young man, focuses on courtly love. He is very much interested in fashion and getting attracted towards the worldly affairs. Then the yeoman, the knight's attendant who represents working class in the society. Then the prioress, he is a religious figure like Madame Eglantine is a delicate, refined woman who is very much interested in keeping pet dogs. Then the monk, a religious figure, a self-indulgent man, enjoys hunting and fine living. That is why monk is very much attached to the worldly desires and worldly affairs. Then the friar, Hubbard, a satirical figure, corrupt and manipulative man who exploits his image to amass wealth. Then the clerk of Oxford, a poor scholar but humble and dedicated student who has spent all of his money in purchasing books. That is why the clerk of Oxford is totally in sharp contrast to a friar or Hubbard. Then the merchant. The merchant appears prosperous and confident but is in debt. That is why merchant is representing the upcoming of the mercantile class in England society. The franklin, wealthy landowner, lover of food and drink. That is why he is very much attracted towards food and drink. Then the guildsman, a group of high tradesmen, the middle class people who are representing the English society, and they were ruling over the society in later periods. Then the cook, skilled but unclean, sells unsanitary food to people. That is why cook has been blamed by the people, because he is selling the unsanitary food to people. Then the concluding section of the prologue, after introducing an array of vivid and intricate portraits in the general prologue to the prologue of the Canterbury Tales, Chaucer transitions the narrative back to the Tower Inn, where diverse groups of people have gathered before setting off on their journey to Canterbury. So that is why Tower Inn was the place where those diverse groups of people, they have been assembled together and decided to make a journey to Canterbury. The concluding portion of general prologue thus serves as a transition from the descriptive portraits to the interactive storytelling that defines the Canterbury Tales. So that is why the general prologue of the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, it defines about the different type of portraits who are responsible for making the journey towards the Canterbury Tales to make their life a divine one. Then the conclusion, the general prologue of the Canterbury Tales masterfully sets the stage for Chaucer's exploration of human nature, society and storytelling. Through vivid descriptions of spring, he establishes a dual theme of physical and spiritual renewal, framing the pilgrimage as both a literal journey and a metaphorical quest for meaning. So that is why the journey towards Canterbury helps them to remain in a state of eternal bliss, spiritual solace, and that is why it is a belief among the people that whenever spring came, they usually make a journey towards Canterbury to make their life eternal and blissful.